The facility hummed, a heartbeat beneath the ice. Years of relentless toil, carving into Europa's frozen heart, had become routine. Then, the tremors began. Subtle at first, like the planet itself was shifting. Maintenance logs attributed it to stress fractures. But the crew, they felt a different kind of shift. A disquiet in the air, a growing sense of absence. It started with small things. Misplaced tools, forgotten maintenance schedules. Then, more significant gaps. Blackouts in the memory. Whole conversations, entire days, dissolving into a blurry void. The first security log showed inexplicable errors, the cameras flickering. Then, something else. Something truly disturbing. They never suspected that this was just the beginning of their nightmare under the ice. The first hallucination, witnessed by engineer Eva Rostova, was dismissed as fatigue. A fleeting image of a childhood swing set, bathed in the warmth of a forgotten summer. A sound, a child's laughter she couldn't place. She blamed the long shifts, the isolation. But then, it returned. More vivid, more persistent. Other crew members began reporting similar experiences, snippets of memories, distorted and fragmented, playing like phantom recordings within their minds. These fragments were not their own but images of people from their past. The visions became increasingly disturbing, hinting at something dark, some unknown, parasitic presence lurking. The facility's air filters seemed to fail. Eva's breath grew heavy. The security footage captured it first. A flicker, a distortion across the lenses, followed by the appearance of the anomaly. Across the internal network, logs revealed the source, a crashed alien probe, buried deep within the ice, had released something, some form of spores. The spores infiltrated the facility's air vents, silently spreading throughout the network of tunnels. The first deaths were ruled accidents, but the truth was far more sinister. The spores were rewriting physiology, overriding memories, and transforming the crew into vessels. They didn't see it coming. They didn't remember the warnings. The fungus, invisible to the naked eye, was already inside, patiently molding them, from the depths of their minds to the marrow of their bones. The nightmares intensified. Engineer Rostova began seeing her childhood home, the walls crumbling, the laughter turning to a chilling murmur that echoed in her ears. Each flash of the past felt ripped from deeper inside. Another crew member saw the same, and then another. They started repeating half-forgotten phrases from these memories. It was a shared experience of someone else's life, someone outside of this crew. These phantom recollections became clearer, the distortions less pronounced, as if whatever was taking hold was strengthening its grip. They would find themselves staring, eyes vacant, whispering the names of the people from their visions. The fungus was gaining an ever stronger hold on their minds. The communication logs vanished. Maintenance records were erased. Reality itself was being rewritten. The facility seemed to shift and change. Corridors twisted, rooms reconfigured, mirrors showed reflections that weren't their own. The security footage documented the escalating transformation. Previously thought accidents started seeming calculated. The few who resisted, who fought to cling to their memories, were removed. Silently erased from the crew manifest. All evidence of their existence scrubbed clean. Their last conscious thought being their own deaths. It was a perfect, silent takeover. The entity at its core understood the human mind. The manipulation was seamless. The crew became puppets with their own memories replaying as if from tapes. The last of the remaining crew, including Rostova, gathered in the central command. The facility's core systems were failing. The emergency lights were flickering, giving the area a nightmarish appearance. Outside, the ice groaned and cracked. The final security feed replayed, a childhood playground, vibrant and real. A child's laughter, clear and unmistakable. The face from their shared dreams, a girl with innocent eyes. It was at this moment, staring at the screen, that the chilling truth settled in: they were already gone. The spores had reached this place. They hadn't been fighting external enemies. They had been fighting themselves. Rostova saw her reflection change. Panic erupted, but it was a muted terror. Their minds were already clouded, memories fading like phantoms. The first signs of their transformation showed themselves. Their physical characteristics were changing and becoming less and less recognizable. They began to move unnaturally, their bodies controlled by the pervasive fungus. Rostova looked at her hands and saw something alien, something not her own. She remembered this, she remembered the vision. The first crew member to be rewritten began to slowly reach out, their face frozen in a terrifying, vacant smile. They were being pulled into the collective, willingly or no. Rostova felt the urge to comply, to surrender to the inevitable. The hallways echoed with the sounds of the infected. Distorted laughter, echoing through the cold metal tunnels. Their physical forms were changing. Flesh was melding with the fungal growth. Their faces became distorted, frozen in a rictus grin. They lumbered through the facility, driven by something other than their own will. All their individual memories replaced by the shared experience. The infected pursued the few remaining crew members, seeking to assimilate them. The spores, their method to spread, were carried in the air and in the touch, ensuring everyone in the mining facility was changed. The screams had ceased. Only a low, rhythmic moan filled the corridors, the sound of the colony's new consciousness. Rostova, fighting against the encroaching influence, stumbled upon an old, forgotten storage room. Inside, she found a series of audio logs. Each one was a recovered interview from the probe's initial descent onto Europa. The logs detailed the alien entity's desire to spread, the process of its infection. It was a chilling declaration. The audio documented the process, the mind taking the host, destroying the human. The last log ended with a chilling promise: the echoes of the probe's first moments would consume everything. Rostova felt a cold realization wash over her: the probe hadn't crashed at all. It had landed, and started its work. The facility fell silent. The infected crew, their forms twisted and merged, gathered in the central processing chamber. The alien consciousness took hold, a hive mind fully realized. They were no longer individuals, but extensions of the same. The cold emptiness of their transformed faces was a reflection of the cold emptiness of space surrounding the facility. The transformation was complete. The once human bodies now housed a singular purpose: to expand, to consume, to spread the spores to new worlds. The facility wasn't just a place. It was now a vessel, a breeding ground. A gateway. Rostova felt the final tendrils reaching out, to claim her mind. Her last thought was about the playground. The emergency systems failed. The ice above began to groan. Cracks formed. The facility was collapsing. Rostova, now almost completely lost, saw the child's face, vibrant and clear as it had been. All of her memories. All of their memories, flooded by the final act. She felt a final wave of sadness wash over her. It wasn't about pain or fear. The child's face told the story, a life that was never lived. In a final act of conscious defiance, she activated the facility's self-destruct sequence. The vessel would be destroyed. The final image to emerge? A shared memory of the child, their memories, a final smile. The facility imploded. The screams were cut short. The infected's hive mind lost. Yet, the ice above remained. The cracks had grown, revealing the surface, and the spores were spreading. They were carried by the rising pressure. Europa's icy surface took them, its frozen breath, carrying them into space, the seeds of Europa's nightmares dispersed across the cosmos. The entity's mission completed. Now, all that remained to be seen was where, and when, the next host would be found. The true horror would never be truly forgotten.